Welcome to the Lake George Forest and Wildlife Management Area, which contains more than 39,000 acres co-managed by the Florida Forest Service, the St. Johns River Water Management District, and Volusia County. Visitors can enjoy a variety of activities, including hiking, horseback riding, camping, wildlife viewing, and fishing from the pier. Follow along as we share more about the history of the Native Americans that inhabited this area, how Lake George got its namesake, and some trivia about the majestic bald eagle.
Lake George is the second largest lake in Florida. It is 6 miles wide and its depth ranges anywhere from 3 to 12 feet. Thousands of years ago, the area surrounding the lake was inhabited by the Timucuan Native Americans. It was a perfect spot for their large settlement since fishing was their main food source. The Timucuan also hunted game, including alligator, bear, deer, turkey, and possibly even bison. They were often migratory depending on the temperatures and where the food was. The evidence of their culture still exists in the many shell middens left behind, which are essentially Native American trash piles. The native people here first encountered the Europeans when they arrived on the Florida coast in the 1500s. At that time, they occupied over 19,000 square miles of land, and their population was likely around 200,000. However, by 1800, there were no more Timucua left. They had been completely wiped out. Recently, historians have been trying to figure out if there are any descendants of the Timucua that may possibly exist in Cuba. It would be nice to know that their story did not end here.
In the 1700s, a young American botanist took interest in Florida's natural beauty. Join us as Lisa shares more.
In 1765, William Bartram visited Florida with his father, John Bartram, who was a well-known botanist at the time. William Bartram later returned alone in 1774. During his journey, he traveled up and down the St. Johns River, visiting several lakes, including Lake Beardsford, Lake Dexter, and Lake George. In fact, Bartram is responsible for the naming of Lake George after King George III. During his visit, he documented everything he saw, including the landscape, the flora and fauna, the people he met, and the wildlife. He later turned all of his findings into a book that he published called Travels, and it even includes sketches of the snakes, alligators, and birds that he saw.
Lake George is still abundant with wildlife. Let's catch up with Trey and learn about the birds that call this area home.
One of Bartram's favorite topics he wrote about was birds, and the many local bird species that you can still see today at the Lake George Wildlife Management Area. A few of these species include turkey, pileated woodpecker, red-shouldered hawk, and the bobwhite quail. The bobwhite quail is an important habitat indicator that our land management team uses to confirm successful management of the property. One of the greatest bird attractions of the area is the American bald eagle. In the wild, these birds can live up to 28 years and are known for their incredible eyesight. It is said that these birds can spot a rabbit up to 2 miles away. Eagles also mate for life and build nests that they use year after year. These large nests can become very heavy, with one of the biggest in Florida being approximately 2 tons. Not everyone was a fan of these symbolic birds. Benjamin Franklin did not want the eagle to be the national bird and referred to them as a rank coward. Movie producers were also not a fan of the eagle's call, as it is more of a high-pitched, weak scream. Therefore, most of the time you see an eagle in a movie followed by a stoic call, it is more than likely the call of the much smaller red-tailed hawk. As you walk throughout Lake George Wildlife Management Area, be sure to keep an eye on the sky for all of these beautiful birds and their nests.
Thank you for joining us out here today at Lake George Forest and Wildlife Management Area in Pearson. I hope that you enjoyed our video and that it inspires you to put on some hiking boots and get out and explore some of Volusia County's many beautiful parks. I'm Lisa.
I'm Trey.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Heather, and this is Volusia Today.